Hello, sacred souls. Welcome back to Machi Living. On this channel, we focus on gaining wisdom for the journey of life and for everyday life. And I was actually called to do a different reading than I planned for today. And the message that was strongly coming to me is the question of what information you need to hear or what advice you need to hear right now. So that is the reading we are going to do today. What information, what advice do you need to hear right now? And for this, we're going to have 3 piles. I think that's the second and that's the third. So, pile number 1 is accepting what is. I accept and embrace my inner majesty. Pile number 2, listening with your heart. I trust the messages I receive from my heart. And pile number 3 is letting go. I surrender joyously to the ebbing and flowing of life. So these are your 3 piles today for the advice you need to hear right now, advice and information you need to hear right now. I'm going to give you a few seconds of silence to make your choice, and then I will see you in your reading. So, hello, pile number 1. Your card is accepting what is. I accept and embrace my inner majesty. And what we are talking about today is information, advice you need to hear right now. And the card is quite telling. Clearly there is something quite important and quite serious going on in your life. There's something that you're dealing with, you're kind of knocking at the door. And it feels like you're almost there. The solution is within your grasp. And one of the things you need to do is to accept what is. Just allow the energy to flow through you, the difficulty, just experience it and let it flow and let it go. Don't be afraid of opening up to accepting that it's difficult, accepting your role, other people's role. Don't be afraid of going through all the different emotions that are coming to you. None of those emotions are wrong. It's okay to feel happiness and it's okay to feel anger as well. And your inner majesty has many different sides, like the rose has many different petals and the leaf has many different lines and the universe has many different stars. So you have many different sides as well. And it's good to be aware of those, and it's good to accept those and embrace those. They are all part of your inner majesty. Like as they say, actually it's one of my favorite philosophers, Alan Watts, talks about this, that the manure is contributing to the growth of this beautiful rose. Like, we fertilize the soil for agriculture, for growth with manure, and that is part of it. Like, that is kind of the dark side, the bad stuff that is contributing to the whole, to the growth, to the evolution, to the beauty, to the ability to be. And that is okay. Embrace yourself and embrace your different sides as well. So let's draw a few more cards and see what other advice and information is available for you at this time. I feel like this one wants to come out as well. So let's see. Change. It is time to change. And your life is changing. Accept and allow that change. And some of it feels heavy and some of it feels light. But altogether you are transported, you are moving towards something quite beautiful. And it's interesting that the previous card says accept and embrace your inner majesty. And this horse is also so majestic, and a horse in general is just is such a majestic, such a powerful and beautiful animal. But it's also, it can kick you. And it can throw you off your back, its back, and all those things can be very, very dangerous. And there are these two sides, the lightness, the heaviness, the darkness, the light, that need to be integrated. And the change is about integrating all these different sides of you and accepting that life needs to change. Your life needs to change. The things that you embraced so far, the things that you believed so far are not how it always has to be. And whatever brought you up to this point, accept it and let it go. Rise above and move forward. Transformation, change, a fresh new way of living emerges. Yes, your life is definitely changing, and you're going to be living out of a new perspective in a different way. You've already done the hard work, and now you're rising above. Take time to breathe out. And we also have step out of your comfort zone with the North Node, which the North Node is your current life purpose. Within your North Node is the information that helps you with your current life journey, and what you need to achieve, what you need to work on. So I would suggest to look at your birth chart if you know your time of birth. Or actually, I offer a discounted birth chart reading, an analysis at the moment, and that also includes information about your north node, which can be deduced if you know your time of birth, and of course the location and the date, the exact date. And I would suggest you to look into that to understand this reading a little bit further. The reading is pointing you to look at your own life purpose, so you can actually follow that life purpose. Because up until now, you've been walking a different journey, and it's been an okay journey. It's been a good journey. It's been hopefully, you know, you've achieved a lot of good things, but there has also been some difficulties that you might not want to continue with, and you shouldn't actually continue with. It's time to change, and it's time to live on purpose. And so take a little bit of time to breathe out, to look at the things that have happened, and the feelings and the experiences you have taken away from those things. Look at those, accept those, breathe through them, and allow them to pass through you, and let them go. And then continue to rise above and move forward with the new direction that you have taken in your life. Like for me, it looks like that you've already taken this new direction, but there is still some baggage that you're carrying on your back, or maybe some bricks in your backpack that you need to, you know, take out, look at them, and let them go. Like, it's okay. You don't actually need those things. Even if you believe you do, you probably don't believe it anymore. And that is also part of the transformation and the change, and why you are walking this journey, that you already know that you don't know, that you don't need those things. And maybe there are some things that you need to rebuild, regrow, and that is okay. Take time to breathe out. Like, it's okay if things slow down a little bit, and your life slows down a little bit, and you slow down a little bit. It's part of the change. You know, sometimes we take a step back to be able to take 2 steps forward, and that is okay. So what I'd like to look at a few tarot cards, and from these cards, what I'd like to ask about is, what is this fresh new way of living that is emerging? So let's ask that first, and then I have other questions as well. But first, if we could get a little bit more information about this fresh new way of living, how does it look like? What is it that you need to allow? Oh, okay. So that's that's a good few cards. Let's look. Let's look. What is this fresh new way of living? So we have the 8 of Swords, which is very interesting, because the 8 of Swords is such a beautiful card. Also, I love this tarot deck. The 8 of Swords, the swords are about the mind and thinking, and thinking in certain ways. And you can see, for me, this lady is really peaceful, even though her eyes are covered and she has a blindfold. She's also very peaceful. And the Eight of Swords is often about like having this cage around you, but actually it's not a complete lock. Like it's a cage that you, by your thinking, by your way of thinking, you put yourself into, and you can also step out of it anytime. But what I also love about the Eight of Swords is that, you know, having this blindfold helps you to learn to listen to your intuition. Not just rely on your senses and what you sense in the physical world, but to rely on your intuition. And maybe it can be about something like clairvoyance, or maybe what I feel is actually clairsentience. Is when you can sense emotions, when you can sense things through the emotions, not through images. Clairvoyance is sensing them through images and visions. But I think for you is more sensing through emotions, the things that you feel, like when you soften, when you release, you know, the tension in your body and in your mind. You actually, I believe you have the capability, the ability to sense the emotions around you, to measure things up, to get information by that. So to move kind of forward based on your intuition and your ability to sense emotions around you. And that's why also the accepting what is important, because to be able to accept what is, you know, you need to relax and you need to release the tension both in your body and your mind, and just allow the thing, the experience, the emotion that's in front of you to come to you, instead of rejecting it and pushing it away, because the tension arises from trying to keep that emotion away, or that experience away, trying to keep it at bay. And accepting is the opposite of that, is letting it to flow through you and into and through you. It doesn't remain. Like, life is about change, and things change. Like if you allow that experience to pass through you, by nature it will change and it will move and flow. While if you're trying to reject it and keep it at bay and push it down, you keep it there. So you're not allowing the change that needs to happen, the light that needs to come in. So try to relax your mind, and instead of focusing on the information you get through your physical senses and from the physical world, try to sense through your emotions. Maybe, let's see, maybe even taking a course. It's a King of Pentacles. Maybe even taking a course in clairsentience, or the ability to develop these kind of abilities within yourself and to practice. That might be, and that is interesting with the King of Pentacles as well, because this card gives me the feeling of, okay, in what way am I going to make a living? Because that is a valid question. And there will be a new way of you making a living. And you might need to study for that. Let's look at the other cards that came through. What is this fresh new way of living? I'm just going to push this here so we have the question remaining. The Page of Swords is a new way of communicating. And there are also the butterflies, which is a really beautiful card also. If you can see, there are lots of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 butterflies around this Page of Swords. It's and a butterfly is it goes through a very, very deep transformation to be able to become this majestic being, to bring their inner majesty forth. And for that, you might have to learn a new way of communicating. Let's see what other cards we have. What is this fresh new way of living? The Four of Swords. Take time to breathe out. The Four of Swords is about taking a moment to relax, to clear your mind, to clear the clutter, not just in your house, but in your mind, in your thoughts. What are the thoughts that don't serve you? What else? Two of Wands. Look at the signs. Pay attention to the signs from the universe. And that is also part of this relaxing and being able to sense emotions and your own emotions better. So then that will allow you to be able to pick up messages from the universe. This eagle is flying. As she's waiting there is this beautiful being coming in, and she's intensely focusing on what is this view, what is this situation in front of her, telling her. Like sensing, being able to sense is very, very important. And it's a completely different, it brings out a different side of you. And then the Emperor. It's very interesting because this Emperor gives me both the feeling of the positive and the negative side of the Emperor. I don't know why, but somehow I see both in it. And maybe it's the light, like there's a light side of the face, there is the dark side of the face as well. And I think where the journey that you have been walking has brought more of your dark sides as you've lived out of your physical existence. Has brought more difficulties into your life, and it's time to live out of your purpose, which is a lighter side, which doesn't mean that you don't have the dark side. Like, you need to integrate both of these sides. And the Emperor actually, as the King of Pentacles and the kings in general, they are beings who have integrated their different sides, whether it's the feminine and the masculine side, whether it's the spiritual and the material, whether it's the 3D or 5D, but whatever you associate with, but they live out of a different way of being. And the Emperor is also associated with the Aries, and Aries is a very, very strong fire sign, and the Aries is a very, very stubborn, like breaking forwards and not listening to anything. As you can see, the animals as well. It's like, I know better, I know best, and I'm going to go forward this way. And you need to be able to let that attitude go and live out of more of an emotional side of yourself. Integrate your emotions. So let me think. Like, yeah, this is something that you haven't done before, but you know that you can sense that this different way of being and different way of sensing the world is possible. And you need to make that leap. The other question I want to ask is just a couple more cards. If we could kindly get more information about the person you will be, allowing this change and allowing this transformation. Who is the person you will be, allowing this change and transformation? This will take these three cards. The Fool. And don't take it the wrong way. I mean, look at the card and look at the energy of the card. Let me try to show you from different angles in a way to see the real colors of the card and not just reflections of light. I mean, this Fool to me is full of hope, full of beauty, full of possibilities. Even without the shoes. I mean, she has everything. It's a very, very beautiful being. A very integrated and very beautiful being. Don't be afraid of this journey. The Queen of Swords, knowing what to do, when to do, and there are more butterflies. This transformation is inevitable, and as difficult as it is, it's very, very beautiful. The things that you always wished for will be in your hand. And you will be able to use them the right way. So it's a very powerful but very clear being. And the Five of Wands with a lot of passion. The Five of Wands traditionally is a card of competition. And competition has many sides, you know. Competition with yourself. Competition to be better every day. Like, it's not a kind of transformation that it happens and then it's over and then nothing changes anymore. It will be and it will remain a constant journey. You will come out from a very different energy, a much lighter, much clearer, much more beautiful energy filled with hope, with understanding. And you have to keep going, but I kind of sense that competition for you previously was competing against others. and comparing yourself to others. And this is a very different way. This is comparing yourself to yourself and evolving and growing every day with accepting the things that come your way, because each and every of those things are helping you to walk this journey, to go forward. Yeah, I just remembered, I really like listening to Matthias De Stefano. I don't know if you know him. He has daily discussions on YouTube, both in Spanish and in English. And I remember him telling a story once as he was going through his some of his deepest spiritual evolutions. He organized. He had this message from the universe that I don't remember exactly, but let's say yes, he needed to go to Vatican City, and he didn't have the money. He didn't have anything. He didn't know what to do. So he started organizing all these meetings and presentations that he could give around Spain and Italy to finally take himself via these invitations and these offered presentations to Vatican City. And he organized all the flights, all the meetings, everything. And then before he was due to travel, just the afternoon before, he had this message like from the universe, like, no, you don't need to do any of these. And I was like, but I organized all of these things. And he had this feeling like, no, you have to let it go. You cannot travel. You cannot go in this. This is not the way. You have to let it go. And he was like, no, I can't. And then he was in this turmoil, and he was talking to one of his friends saying like, look, I feel like I need to cancel everything, but I don't want to cancel everything. What do? I need to get to Vatican City. And this friend was on a bus with a lady who was a friend of the secretary of the Pope in Vatican City, because ultimately he had to go to Vatican City to talk to the Pope. And that lady on the bus told to this person, who texted the secretary, and the secretary texted Matthias De Stefano, and she said, what do you need? And he said, I need to talk to the Pope. And the secretary said, that's okay, come to Vatican City, and he directly went to Vatican City. So it's like, you don't need to do and organize everything. You just need to follow the steps that are being put in front of you and accept and trust those steps. So it was quite a long story, and I'm sure Matthias tells it much better. And I don't remember when he was talking about this, but in one of his recent interviews. And so, just look at and focus on your own life and the steps that you need to be taking forward, and follow those. So I think that is a very clear, very beautiful, and very deep message that you needed to hear right now. And I hope that it's resonated with you, pile number 1. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please comment if you'd like. If you'd like a birth chart reading, email me. There's the information in the description box below, and I would be very, very, very happy to help you with that. And please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. And today we are talking about an information, a message you need to hear right now. And the card that you picked is listening with your heart. I trust the messages I receive from my heart. So right off the bat, I see this heart and heart chakra. And actually, I never know the number of the lotus flowers, whether it's the heart. I mean, of course, it looks the heart chakra, but the heart chakra is also green, and this is red, which makes me think of the sacral chakra. So I'm going to talk about both. So I believe one of the things that this card is trying to tell you is working on both the heart and the sacral chakra, clearing, healing. You can listen to on YouTube. There are this 1 hour, 11 minute, 11 seconds healing meditations, and they're not the kind of meditations where there's a topic or something you need to listen to. They're just different frequencies that are supposed to resonate and heal the different chakras. And so you can listen to specifically, and you should listen to specifically heart chakra clearing or cleansing, and also sacral chakra cleansing. So it's both to do with emotions and with passions. And the sacral chakra is also related to our sexuality and our relationships. And maybe there is, I feel like that there might be an argument that you're going through with your partner or someone you care about, but for me it's more romantic with the sacral chakra and the heart as well. And instead of trying to continue the argument or who's right and who's wrong, you need to listen to your heart and with your heart, and so look into yourself and see how you feel. Like, for example, if you look into your feelings and you don't feel unconditional, the ability to love this person, and you don't feel that you can unconditionally love this person, then maybe there is something you need to learn around unconditional love, or maybe there is a journey you need to go through on your own or together with this person to open your hearts more towards each other. And this journey will also show if you are meant for each other or maybe you're not. But once you walk this journey, whatever the information is, you will be able to accept it because you've gone through the journey and you've seen the different perspective and the different sides. But try to follow your heart rather than your ego or your mind. So let's draw a few more cards and see what other messages you have around this. Information that you need to hear today. I will take this. Well, okay, we'll take them. I will take this too. So let's see. Thriving. Is this thriving? It's like kind of with the giraffe, it's looking above, like kind of zooming out of the situation to be able to see different sides of the argument, and also different perspectives, like the perspective of the other person as well. to bring in different lights. Yeah, many different perspectives. Let's see. Wandering path. Enjoy the journey. And with the fox as well, this card always reminds me that there is a trick. There is a trick in a situation, but you need to rise above. Desert passage. Trust there is a divine plan. Path and passage. And what is this going to be? And reaching your destination. Your light is shining brightly. How interesting that all three of these cards, I'm going to put them like this. All three, there is a path. Wandering path, desert passage, reaching your destination. It's like, in the end, it doesn't matter which journey you take, you're going to reach your destination. It's okay, which means relax. Relax. It's okay. A new start is coming with the new moon in July. Towards the end of July, we have around the 17th, something like that, 16th of July, isn't it? It's going to be the new moon. So there is something changing in the second half of July with the coming new moon. So whatever the path is, just keep going forward. And also it kind of makes me feel like whatever path you think you're on might not be the path, and the reality will be soon revealed. There is a reason why this argument is happening. There is a divine plan. You can learn about each other. You can learn about yourself. So maybe you can actually decide which path you want to take to reach your destination. Because it's also very interesting that here you have a couple of empty bubbles and then a bubble filled with light and home. And so it kind of makes me feel like, you know, you might take a few paths that looks like, or they are not the right path. And I said earlier, whichever path you take doesn't matter, because even these paths, even the paths that are not the right path, are the right path, part of the right path, because they teach you that this is not the path and you need to go another way. So maybe you have taken a couple of directions which turned out not to be, and maybe it's in relationships. You know, you've taken a few relationships that haven't turned out to be the ones, but ultimately what they were teaching you, what they were trying to teach you, is to listen with your heart, not with your mind. And I think that is the message. I trust the messages I receive from my heart, not the ideas that I receive from other people, not the ideas that I receive from, I don't know, society, from the ego that I built. You need to learn to listen to your heart. Who are you? What do you want? What is important for you? And are you following the path that is important for you? For example, if you say, I don't know, I want a kind of relationship, like I want a deep connection with someone, are you able to deeply connect? Are you capable of being that person, of allowing the depth of yourself to be shared, to be vulnerable, to that depth to come forward? And are you able to allow that to happen in the other person as well? Can you stand their darkness, their depth, their good, their bad coming forward? And can you actually stand there and merge it together, so then you can achieve this deep connection? I mean, deep connection doesn't happen like that. It takes time. It's a journey. It takes trial and failure, but it needs determination. Like, you enjoy the journey with the good and the bad, but do the journey. Don't give up. So let's look at some tarot cards and see what is this relationship. Maybe what is the nature of this relationship, or what is going on around this romantic relationship that you're looking at or not looking at. Queen of Swords. So there is a very strong person, probably on both sides actually, and I have Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini energy with the Queen of Swords. But there's also the masculine energy with the triangle pointing upwards. And it's like maybe the integration of the feminine and the masculine sides that are needed on both sides. So a little bit of self-reflection. And like kind of putting down the ego, putting down the sword and the fight, the cut, the blame, the reasoning, and just take a little bit of time to reflect, you know. Like the emotions, it's very interesting. Like there's a bowl of water here, which for me represents emotions, and like the emotions are being caged, and that is not okay. Especially if you want a certain kind of relationship that is based on love and relating and sharing and vulnerability and depth and intimacy, like real intimacy, real connections. It's not an easy thing to achieve. It doesn't happen. You know, some people say that you don't have to work on relationships. I think you have to work on in life, you have to work on everything. But the question is, where do you put your work? You know? So let's see what else. What other message around this relationship and around these participants, two participants we have from the universe. I want to take this one, and this one. I will take this too. There is a lot of happiness in this connection. I kind of keep hearing there's everything under the sun. There's like everything in this connection, good and bad and difficult and It's teaching you to integrate everything, teaching you both, and to open your heart. You know, because sometimes also the sun burns, like the sun warms us up and keeps us warm, but you know, it also burns, and it's very hot and it's very uncomfortable. It's difficult to breathe, like you're grasping for air, and you have all these kind of different emotions, which understandably make it difficult to know what is this path. It's like, it's interesting because there's different paths. Like, is this a path even? What path do I take? But it's a journey that transforms you, and you need to allow that transformation. The Five of Wands. It's like each of you needs to climb the hill within yourself, and then you can do it together as well. It's not a competition with yourself or with the other person. It's about climbing the hill. And you can't just parachute onto the top of the hill. You need to walk the journey. Whatever the path. So many different ways. Two of Swords. You think you cannot see, but you can. And maybe actually even sometimes, and actually pile number one, the reading for pile number one was a lot about this. You know, try not to believe everything to your senses. And sometimes when you don't see, it's a good thing also. You know, we can say, oh, I don't see, I don't understand, so it's bad. Maybe not. You know, maybe you need to look in a different way. You thinking that you don't see doesn't necessarily mean that you don't see. Like if she peeks down, she can see. And she can see from a different perspectives. There's lots of ways available. There's lots of opportunities. There are loads of possibilities within this connection. So go for them. Don't be shy. Try. You have to try. You have to move. Reflecting for a while is okay. But there is the action that is also needed. Communicate. The Knight of Swords brings communication, messages. Talk. Ask. Allow time and space. Don't run away. And yes, it is difficult, and sometimes it's energy consuming. But that's okay. That is also part of the journey. You know, because when it tires you, when your energy is gone, then you open up to listening with your heart. Then you let go of thinking with your head and making your decisions, everything from your thoughts and what you know, and you start making decision with your heart. So this is actually not a bad thing. And there are certain things that you shouldn't listen to. Certain voices within yourself, outside of yourself, that you shouldn't listen to. Because they have been killing you, you know. I think you've been sacrificing yourself. So just let all of that go and work on the different journeys. Work on the different things in front of you within that relationship. Embrace all the different sides and go into it. Don't give up. So can we kindly get a little bit more information about what kind of relationship is this really? You know, what is the potential of this relationship? The world is like everything, and the Emperor is a very, very powerful relationship, very integrative relationship, very beautiful, very whole. It requires all of you, all of both of you. It requires both of you to be a whole person, to have overcome the illusions of your life, to have overcome your fear of vulnerability, and to integrate yourself. What I'm trying to say, what I hear is to be able to become the person that you want to be, in a way. Or for example, as the previous example, if you say that I want to be able to connect deeply, is to develop that connection with your own depth, and allowing that to come forth. And you each need to be able to do that, and is able to do that within this relationship. Like, this relationship is a journey of self-integration and a journey of unity between the two. It's very, very beautiful. And I'm just, sometimes I look at the numbers 4, 6, 7. There is something in the month of July on the 25th, around the 25th. There is something happening, and that is around the new moon as well. I think that's just after the new moon. You've come a long way. Don't give up. Oh, wow. Very beautiful reading, pile number 2. And I really hope that it resonated with you, and not just resonated, but whatever it resonated with, the messages within this reading have also helped you to keep going, with a little bit more quality, a little bit more trust, and a little bit more clarity, and to really keep going on this journey, because you are on a very, very beautiful journey. So please stay with it. And if you like to comment on what resonated with you, if you can share, or if you have any comments for the reading or any other readings that you'd like to hear from this channel, from me, please feel free to comment. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and please like the video and subscribe, And I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. And in today's reading, we're talking about a message, information that you need to hear right now. And the card that you picked is letting go. I surrender joyously to the ebbing and flowing of life. So if you pick this card, seeing the message, you're obviously working on something, like something that you feel stuck with. You feel you need to let go of something or maybe somebody. And allow life to happen and flow freely. For some of you, it can also be, I kind of have a feeling of, it's like your child, you know, is grown and they are ready to go to university, and how, you know, how do you make that change? How do you make that jump of being their parent, but also allowing them to be adult and not a child anymore, like not looking at them as a child anymore, but as an equal adult, to be their friends rather than trying to control them. And, you know, learning to surrender to the ebbing of and flowing of life also helps you to know how to surrender within relationships, in your relationships with people. To feel more at peace. They also look like a couple, you know, like a male fish and a female fish. And so maybe something happened with your spouse, and if that is the case, I'm really, really sorry about the experience you might be going through, and any pain and any difficulty you might be experiencing. And so you might be asking the question, how do I let go? How do I surrender? Let's look at a few other cards and more messages to help us in this question, in this message. No. I actually feel this one as well. And we'll use a few tarot cards as well, but let's look at the oracle cards first. So we have action. It's a very dark feeling card, like there's turmoil. And simplicity, lightness, or such a contrast. So there is a contrast, there is a very, very deep turmoil inside of you. How do I let go? What does it mean to let go? You know? How do I find the balance between simplicity and lightness and action and efforting Finding sanctuary, opening to your spiritual source. It's quite interesting that this tower is kind of in between the two. And without you trying to get there, the stairs are there. The stairs are there to take you. The answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. Did we just have a full moon in Gemini, or that was a new moon? On the 18th? Then we have a full moon in Gemini. Oh, no, I don't remember. Your dreams need a practical plan. So there is the action. There is the action. Let's, oops. Maybe like this actually as well. And I would put it like this. It's like letting go in order to find sanctuary. And action versus simplicity, practical plan versus the answers you need are coming. I feel that you're stuck. And you're unsure. It's like kind of what is the middle way between these two? Making a practical plan versus trusting the universe. Oh, my brain is almost breaking trying to think. It's like there is a massive problem or a big knot in front of me. How do I work this out? So can we kindly get more information about this problem? And how is it possible to work it out? Maybe what is the middle way? Let's see more information about this problem. The Magician again, integration. The Queen of Wands, being very passionate about something. The Page of Swords. What is this problem and how can it be resolved? The King of Swords, the Two of Cups, and the Fool. I want to see all the cards. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but let me try to arrange. Arrange the cards. So then we can see them all. Yes, let's push these up here so that we can still see the message. action and simplicity. And then let's look at these, the problem, the possible solution. Now we have all of them. And these were like this. The problem and possible solutions. Dilemma. There is something that you're very, very passionate about. Something that you found. And maybe letting go of it is not the question. You know? Part of the ebbing and flowing of life is that you found it, that it came into your way. That you have this ability, that you have this side to yourself. And that is okay. Maybe you don't need to let go. Maybe the surrender is embracing it, bringing it to the surface, allowing it to come to the surface, to flow. So actually communicate it loudly and clearly. Don't be afraid of embracing. I'm so sorry, I burped. This is very rude, but actually it was such a liberating feeling, such a positive feeling. Like, oh, finally, like I can embrace it. I can be it. I don't need to let go or push it away or suppress it. Let it come to the surface. And look, she's come to the surface, and now they are celebrating. And she's come out of the water. Oh, such a beautiful message. And I just feel like, oh, finally I came out of this. I just, when these cards came out, when the oracle cards came out, I just felt this block, this massive problem. And these cards are like, oh, I'm finally liberated. Like, just embrace it. I think that is your message. Whatever it is that you're dealing with, embrace it and communicate it out loud and clearly, and be it. You know, you might make mistakes and not everyone will like it, but that's okay. You know, you will grow into it. Just allow it to be. Like, let go of the need of wanting to let it go, or wanting to let go of the need of controlling. It is what it is. Embrace it. Whatever is arising within you, embrace it. You know, I said, like, one of the examples that come to my mind, which I don't know why, but from the two females, twins here essentially, because the Gemini is like the sign of, or represented by the twins, is like, you know, if you feel like you are drawn to the same gender as you are, and you've been suppressing it, and you're lost between what to do with it, just embrace it and be it and experience it. And yeah, there will be people you lose on the way. There are always people you lose on the way. But there will be also new people who come into your life. And you will also have yourself, you know. Because if you're trying to let go of yourself and suppress yourself, you don't even have yourself. And that is a problem. That is very, very difficult. Just bring whatever talent you're feeling. Like if you feel that you have a talent for, I don't know, telling the future, like, you know, she has like this ball in front of her, from what she can see things. Like if you're able to do that, because that is your mission. That is part of you. That is part of the natural flow that you have from yourself and the natural light that you have within yourself. Let it flow. Don't be afraid. Walk the journey. And yeah, some of it will need a practical plan, but some of the things are also coming to you. So you can work with both. You know, for example, if you want to be, I don't know, a fortune teller or something, for the business you need a practical plan. And that is okay. But then also accept that you have a talent that doesn't need to be controlled, that the answers will be coming to you. So I actually feel like this message is very strongly about your profession or what you do for a living, and embracing that. Allowing yourself to be yourself and integrating both the practical and the spiritual parts of it. Like working with the knowledge that you have and making some practical plans and how to bring it forth in the world to make it as part of your work or your living. And also how to protect yourself in the process. You know, if you're doing, for example, energy work, you also need to learn techniques to be able to refill your energy, when to take time, what are the kind of clients you want to engage with and you want to attract as well. So you need to work on yourself. So it's one thing to allow the talent inside of you flow freely, is something where you have to let go. Have to let it be, not let go. You have to let it be. And then the practical things around protecting that talent and manifesting that talent in the world is where you have to make practical plans. But it makes you so happy. It makes you so strong. And it's going to be okay. It's going to work out very, very, very well. You will always find little tokens on the journey. And it's really interesting, this bag also, it looks like it has a smiley face on it. I don't know if you can see, like there's two eyes, the buttons, and the flap of the bag is like a smiling lips. So you will find unexpected happiness and little tokens along the way. So watch out for those. Oh, pile number 3. I hope that this message has resonated with you and it has been helpful. I felt such a relief during the at one point during the reading, and I hope that that relief translates to you and manifests in your own life. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like the video, please feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. And I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye bye.